Last week, researchers at the University of Arizona unveiled a groundbreaking new psychological methodology that they believed might actually be able to make Americans care about what's going on in Gaza. Joining me on the show is Assistant Professor of Pain and Suffering here at the University of Arizona, Michael Mazzaro. Thanks for being here, Michael.
Thanks for having me, Jenna.
Michael, what do you think of this development? What does this mean for your team and students?
Well, Jenna, as you know, if you were to experience genuine empathy for every person on Earth, you'd immediately explode. We believe it's vital to have even enough empathy to get sort of sad when left alone with your thoughts in the shower. And this study gets us closer to that reality, so we're pretty thrilled, to say the least.
Right. So what exactly did you and your team discover here? Break it down.
You know, past research has indicated that Americans physically can't care about the horrific atrocities, the likes of which history will never forget, because they're happening a big ocean away. You know, this is why, despite the fact that there is a world-altering extinction event being carried out with methodical precision in Gaza, Americans continue to work, eat, play, go to Zumba classes, and attend sketch comedy shows instead of, setting themselves on fire outside of the Israeli embassy or even mailing severed fingers to congressmen. But my team and I wanted to push that because we theorized that Americans could give even a fraction of a rat's ass when suffering was presented to them in easily digestible little greasy pieces. It was frustrating at first, I'm not going to lie. We ran a few experiments where we showed participants a list of the names of the mercilessly slaughtered victims, but we replaced their names with the names of white people. Adam, stuff like that. But it didn't work. Invariably, participants just pulled out their phones and started scrolling on LinkedIn. I'm afraid not, Jenna. Not even one of those crooked charities that just pockets the money.
So what changed?
Well, ultimately we came to the conclusion that if the pain and suffering was not rooted directly in the experiences and knowledge of the participants, then it wouldn't be registered at all. For example, in another preliminary experiment, we showed participants photos of the aftermath of Gazan bombings, and across the board, their heart rates failed to decrease even after we informed them that what they're looking at used to be children. So we deduced that we needed to get more abstract. Our earliest breakthrough was when we asked participants to reflect upon a time in which a childhood pet died, and then we asked them to imagine if instead that pain was 10 trillion times more agonizing. When we saw that one woman slightly frowned at this, we were on the right track.
Fascinating. So I have to know, what was the final iteration of this methodology?
It's not perfect in terms of pain and suffering quantification, but we're proud to announce that we got participants to empathize with 97% accuracy by asking them to imagine themselves shackled to the bottom of the sea, perpetually experiencing the emotion of being moments away from drowning, beginning at the very second of the formation of Earth's oceans and lasting all the way until the explosion of the sun.
That's incredible. So now that Americans are capable of caring about the genocide in Gaza, what will come of this?
Nothing. Thanks for having me, Jenna.
In other news, there are still no mass shootings committed by Muslims in the past year, but if there are any, we'll be sure to let you know. This has been Shield for Brain.